Oh hey, long time no see. It's me, it's RPG. I told you I'd be back when some Saints Row content gets dropped, and well, here I am, ready to discuss some things that were dropped on us today. We will start with the new gameplay teaser we were given. Let's take a deeper dive into just about everything we saw and potentially some things we missed when watching. Let's begin, shall we? So to start things off, I know this is an old clip, but some people may not have realized that Kevin's weapon appears to have some sort of camouflage on it, hinting that we'll be able to change our gun's camos when customizing. So wow, what a shot. At first glance, I gotta say the city looks visually pleasing and the draw distance looks great, which I guess is dependent on what system you get the game for. I also wonder if these giant mountains are going to be accessible through free roam. I tried lining up the Padilla Bridge with this exact shot and the shot from the leaked DSCC footage, which I unfortunately cannot show, but it seems to be that these mountains are probably going to be the out of the map barriers that you cannot access. And up, what's this? I see some layered clothing clipping issues. If you look very closely, the sweater is clipping through the jacket. Oh well, I mean, this is only pre-alpha footage, right? Also, one more thing to note is that the minimap looks extremely large and extremely blank. You don't really see anything other than some bodies of water and a map icon. Also, I had to turn my brightness all the way up to realize that you can see the roads if you look extremely close. Again, hopefully this is another pre-alpha thing that will get sorted out. So in this shot here, we can see again the minimap is very bare bones, only showing map icons and enemy red dots. You can also see that separate notoriety is coming back. The police is represented at the bottom and the gangs are at the top, as you can see later in the gameplay, all ranging from 1 to 5 star ratings. Looking more east of the frame, you can see the way guns and health are laid out is much different than what we've been used to in the previous Saints Row games. The blue bar I'm assuming is your armor, the red bar is your health, and underneath is obviously your weapon and ammo. You can also see that various things you do around the city will grant you XP. This shot here with the very far away camera and the convertible strangely reminds me of The Simpsons Hit and Run.
You've got to prevent the aliens from putting laser guns in the hands of cola-drunk townspeople.
Really, nigga?
I really hope we can change the camera while inside the vehicles, as I prefer to have a more up-close camera angle while driving. On the map, we can see what appears to be a weapon store, which looks like the logo for Shootin' Iron we saw in the CG trailer, a clothing store, possible melee-only weapon store, and 3 logos which look to be a trash can, some pills, and a camera, I think. Don't quote me on that. Uh-oh, the player slightly tapped a car, and what's this? Health bars? Car health bars? I don't like this. I really hope this is something we can toggle off. We can see what looks to be an old steel variant of the Anchor, a Phoenix to our far right, and what appears to be that people are saying is either a halberd or a mockingbird. To me, it looks like a combination between a mockingbird and a slingshot. So again, health bars. I don't know how to feel about this. I honestly won't care if you can toggle them off, but if you can't, wow, that's gonna really piss me off. Volition has been boasting that their accessibility options for this game are the best in the series, so I'm not stressing over it just yet. Seems like something we could simply toggle off. At least, I really hope it is. Moving on, you can see the boss does a special attack with a grenade. If you look closely, it appears they have pressed RB to trigger this special move. Looks like there will be 4 special abilities that your player can obtain, and pressing RB will trigger them with a cooldown period. That gets me thinking, if it's RB to do a special ability, then what button simply just throws a grenade? We do know that we can throw them since we saw gameplay of it. Also, really no idea what this fleur-de-lis represents in the middle of the screen here. I do like this shot, and I'm assuming it's what appears to be a gang operation. It does have the same logo that Saints Row the 3rd and Saints Row 4 used for them. Then again, maybe it's somewhere where you will be potentially building one of your businesses, considering the construction that is going on in the background and the half-built building. For anyone wondering, this sign in the background translates to everything up to your business in Latin. I noticed the boss is also dual wielding the Uzi as well. The different attachments on every shot further supports my theory that we'll be able to change attachments on our guns. Okay, so the boss seems to have a much more natural walking animation than the previous SR games. It's more similar to GTA now, where it looks a lot more realistic, which I honestly like. Moving on and scanning the frame, we can see again the minimal roads are extremely dark. I barely noticed them, and for some reason every pedestrian seems to have a blip on the minimap as well. Scanning some more, we can see some different stores in the shot. We see the Tipsy Lizard watering hole. Nice. To the far right, we can see 3 windows in which one seems to have the Morningstar's star logo placed on it. We can also see what appears to be a rival idol member doing some sort of workout in the middle of the street. Overall, this is a nice shot, and the pedestrians look more varied than in Steelport, that's for sure. Also, if you look at the minimap, the gray logo is what I'm assuming to be mission related to a certain business you open, presumably the food truck one. Just my guess though. Nothing really new here, but one thing I'd like to point out is that all 3 of these idol gang members are exact replicas of one another. I just hope the gang members have a lot of variety, even if it's a simple haircut or a piece of clothing that's changed of their outfit, because seeing the same enemies over and over will get old very quickly. What looks to be an idol's version of the Sandstorm dirt bike. Also, what's this? An idol's member tagging a bus? Could this mean the return of tagging? I hope so. Also, we can see that not only is the character here wearing a bracelet, but he's also wearing a watch and individual rings that actually look shiny. Hooray, hooray. Wait. Now hold on, RPG. Hold on just a minute. Don't get too excited because we haven't seen a single big ass chain yet. What's this? A big ass chain? I repeat, a big ass chain. And it doesn't look paper thin too. Oh, thank the heavens, for my prayers have been answered. Now let's just hope we can put some nice pennants on them too. Again, with some more reused footage we've seen countless times before, but I wanted to point out that sometimes enemies will flash blue for a split second. I'm wondering if it has something to do with the special abilities we can do. Kind of similar to what we saw earlier with that human shield throw looking attack on the idols. If we pause the frame here, we can see a taxi which appears to be a new car model, although it kind of looks like this car from Agents of Mayhem, I guess. Also to the left we see a car named Crisis, which from the front looks very similar to the Rattler. Although when they get to the back in a moment, it reminded me a little bit of a Mazda MX-5. Moving on, we can see what appears to be an Atlantica, an Atrazione, and a Nelson in the background. Also on the Crisis, it appears the fenders have been pulled out, so maybe a wide body option is available for certain tuner cars. That would be awesome. Also, is it just me, or do the cars here look like they have a very low poly count? Like they're looking really flat. Maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me, or maybe it's because it's pre-alpha. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. You can see the traffic density looks good too. That random car in the middle of the road has me worried that the random AI for pedestrian cars will be as stupid as ever, but I digress. If we pause the frame, we can see a car that closely resembles the Mockingbird. You can also see the car I mentioned in the teaser video, that Ford Explorer looking SUV. This is the front of it. Also across the street, you can see what appears to be a criminal pickup truck, but yeah, there you have it. Now onto the screenshots. My absolute favorite shot of them all. I love the old school style cop cars. These seem to be the cop cars that will come after you when you're in the desert. Also notice the cop's cowboy hat doesn't disappear when in the vehicle. Nice. But yeah, the more cop variety, the better. Moving on, we see the boss doing some sort of taunt or compliment. Also in the background, what looks to be a torch. A pedestrian playing the guitar. We love to see it. Some promo art from Los Panteros and the Idols. Again, definitely have more interest in the Panteros. That's for sure. Next, we have the Saints in action. Notice the boss is wearing purple while Kevin and Nina are still wearing their original gang colors. Next, we have the boss about to blow someone's brain out. And looky here, a random pedestrian bar fight. Here we have a new car. Also, the boss seems to be laying on top of the car while shooting. Could this hint at the return of a wheel woman like homie that'll drive you around the city as you shoot? Or is this only mission specific? Because if you look closely, you'll notice it's not Nina driving. Also, the car damage looks good, but at the same time, it kind of resembles paper crumpling. The boss about to take out an idol with what looks to be an NR4, one of the many businesses you can build in the city. In this case, it's a Chalupa Cabra. In this shot here, we can see the gun's muzzle flash looks to be pink. I'm wondering if this is something that we can customize. Kind of like how in Call of Duty, it gives you the ability to have different tracers on your weapons, which is ultimately just changing the muzzle flash color. Here you can see another business you can build, this time a toxic waste dump. The glowing pedestrian makes me think that maybe staying in this area for too long will have visual effects on the civilians that walk through, kind of like in Saints Row 4 when pedestrians would walk through the rifts around the city and totally glitch out. And lastly, the Game Informer screenshot where you can see the boss holding a GDHC 50 while Kevin appears to be holding a Vice 9, and also some food from RS Gas, possibly the new brown baggers of this game, who knows. But yeah, that's about all we got in terms of gameplay and screenshots for now. We also got a huge info dump that was unfortunately locked behind a paywall for some reason. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go find my wallet so I can pay for this new info. I'll see you around once I purchase this info, folks. Bye-bye.